Thursday night, North Melbourne, great test after the break.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good chance to freshen up, I guess, and have a good look at North Melbourne on Friday night. They've obviously been one of the best teams this year, so it's a great chance for us to, in one of our big games for the year, Thursday night footy Adelaide Oval, to really put a good performance together.
How much different do you feel today than you would on a normal Monday, just for having had that week off?
Yeah, I think the PPT staff do a great job of managing us throughout the year, but it's a good chance now. We had 4 days off to not only just get away from the club, but we still have an expectation that you go away and you do a little bit of training. But it's just a different mindset when you're away on your own, and everyone, I guess, chases the heat a little bit. So it is a great opportunity to rest up and like I said, put us in the best position for this weekend.
You've only used 27 players on that stats been around. Do you think it's the best in the comp? Do you think it's helped having a settled side this year?
I think it always does, but I guess the strength of us at the moment, we got so many guys in SANFL playing well, and you can see that with the performances of the team. They're going really well in the SANFL competition, which is great, and it puts a lot of pressure on all the guys playing because if you're not performing, your spot's going to come up for grabs. So it's a great spot to be in as a club. We're really fit, like you said. We've used limited players, so we feel we've got a really good launching pad for the second half of the year.
So I think the Kangas were really physical on Friday night. It was a very brutal game in that sense. Are you expecting them to come out and try and go the body and the man pretty hard early again?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I reckon Hawthorn and North Melbourne probably have a bit of a history about that. I guess the commentators spoke about during the game that Hawthorn probably got after them a bit, and North Melbourne felt like they wanted to come out and sort of respond, which it worked. They started the game really well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But the important thing for us is just make sure we're winning the ball at the contest and giving ourselves the best chance.
Goldstein, one of the biggest and toughest assignments going around. You've had some great battles with him. It's going to be on again Thursday night. It's pretty important to the game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It seems to come around quick playing Goldie. It's likewise. There's a lot of individual, one-on-ones that you'll see throughout the game, and me and Goldie's another one. So it's another really good test. We all know how important clearances are in playing the ball in your forward half. So I'm really excited by it, and I'm sure he is too.
Sam, how would you rate the current forward line in terms of its output, in terms of your time at the club? How would you rate it today's?
Yeah, I guess it's an interesting one because you're always, you're trying to, different forward lines in different areas, so it's hard to sort of, grade them. But they're obviously very exciting. They're very dynamic, and I reckon, each player brings something different. They seem to be gelling really well. So, I'm very lucky and fortunate to be playing with such a good forward line at the moment.
Sam, they're coming off back-to-back 6-day breaks. Is there any way you can make that work to your advantage?
No, I think if you start worrying about them and their preparation, you're sort of taking you off the ball. But I guess 6-day breaks sometimes can work in your favour because they obviously lost to Hawthorn. They're probably ready to go, so I'm sure they'll recover really well. We know how professional teams are, and they'll be ready to go as we are. So I think if you start reading into those sort of things, you're probably looking at the wrong stuff.
So what did you learn from the game earlier in the year? How far do you feel like you guys have progressed since then?
We actually played some really good footy, against Kangaroos early in the year. At probably, some critical contests we probably lost. Near the back end of that third quarter, they were able to sort of come back and get a little lead going into three-quarter time. As a team, I think we've probably changed in how we deal in those situations, and I think we handle them really well as a team now. So. We can't wait to get here and play in front of our fans. Obviously they'll help us massively. So if we can get those moments right, I think it will hold us in really good stead.
You mentioned that they've been raring to go after the loss to the Hawks. Is there a risk, given the momentum you guys had leading into the bye, that you could come out a bit flat after a week off, or is it really good to have that rest?
Yeah, I don't know. We sort of talk. Pikey's big on talking about myths. I think that's probably one of them. I guess the draw is what it is. We knew it was coming up. We've prepared really well. As mentioned, we've used 27 guys, so I think our fitness staff do a really good job of managing the players. The coaches have got out what they wanted to over the break. So, I guess which way you want to look at it. We're excited. We feel we're really prepared to really attack North Melbourne on Thursday night. So, we won't be thinking that to break a momentum or anything like that. And to be honest, it's probably only been 10 days since we played the Eagles, so it's not actually your full 2 weeks anyway. So. That's probably the main thing was we're ready to go for them.
So it's one of the other things that happened on the weekend was the head of our tackle was big and in the headlines. Do do you have to be wary of making sure you absolutely get the techniques right, because you know they might be hot on it early in the game?
Yeah, I think especially at the moment when they're sort of, I guess they're probably a bit unsure on what they're going to do with the rules. I think at the moment the onus is still on the tackler to make sure you get your technique right. You know, obviously safety's the first and foremost, and I reckon it's going to take a bit of time just to sort of see, you know, how they are going to handle it and what it's going to look like going forward. It's obviously a big talking point at the moment, but as players, all we can do at the moment is make sure we get our technique right and I guess take ourselves out of the situation of allowing that to happen to us. We are practicing it and making sure we can, you know, handle it really well.
Do you give blokes like Lindsay a bit of stick out there on the field when he sort of has those controversial little
I'm
ones?
sure some boys do, but I'm not. I don't do that. I probably worry about what I'm doing, but I'm sure Eddie and Lindsay might have a bit of. They're obviously good mates from Mallee Park, so they might have a bit of a laugh about it. But he's playing some good footy at the moment, Lindsay, which is the main thing.